Hello, people, and I have to say, I'm very disappointed with the crypto crowd. You know why? Because the channel's numbers have gone down in the last month, and you know what that means? Not as many people are paying attention to crypto, which means people are still trying to time the exact right moment to come in before the altcoin boron. And guess what? You're not going to be able to do it. And this is why people miss. See, the thing is, when crypto is going up, when things are pumping massively, like that's when I get the most traffic. But that shouldn't be the case because the most common question I ever get asked is when do you think the bull run is? Or like, which coin will I make money like 100x during the bull run? And the real answer is if you're waiting until everything pumps, none of them. But if you're not waiting and you're buying in when things aren't so high, then many of them could be the answer. Because like right now, Bitcoin's at 63K. That's not that cheap. But a lot of the altcoins have lost a lot of value. Like Dogecoin's gone down from like 20 something cents to 14 cents. Cardano is under 50 cents again. VeChain is under 4 cents again. Those are great, great discounts. If you wait until the very last minute before they pump, you're going to be buying it like, 2 or 3 times those prices. You're basically getting like a 25% discount. Yes, I know some of you are still waiting. Maybe it'll go back to last summer's prices. But you know what? Maybe pigs can fly too. So that's probably not going to work. The fact is, you missed 20K, you missed 30K because you were waiting for a drop that went even further. I've been hearing that we needed a 40% drop ever since like 40 or 50,000 to make markets happy or some BS like that. Even if we get like a 40-50% drop now, we might still be like, even if we get a 40-50% drop from like 73K, it's still higher than some of those targets that you said earlier. So you've already lost out on it. And the kind of rule is just don't do it again because you're basically screwing yourself again by trying to wait for lower prices. We already got a drop from 73K to about 60K. The last major drop before this was from like 46 to 38. The drops have always been about 20%, and that 40% that people are waiting for is most likely just not going to come. It's this waiting for 40% that kept you from buying at 30K, and you watch it all go all the way up to 70K without buying because you were waiting for a 40% drop. Think about it. Even if it drops 40% from 73K, it's still higher than your 30K, so you should have bought in then. This is why you DCA and you don't wait for that gigantic drop to come because you're not going to be able to time it exactly right. And if you're waiting for like a 40% drop or you're waiting for it to fill the Fibonacci band, which a lot of people did, by the way, in the 50,000s area, yeah, that didn't work for them because every single Fibonacci resistance got destroyed in the 50,000 area, basically like consecutively. And now people are still waiting for it to fall back to 50K, which is probably not going to happen. Yeah, it might actually happen after we go through the bull market and we get to the bear market again. But that means you just miss the entire bull run, especially for alts. Alts are very, very cheap right now compared to where they probably will be. Yes, they're more expensive than they were last summer, but you had all summer to actually buy those alts and you didn't buy them. And now you're making the exact same mistake of waiting for them to go back to last summer's prices. The only way they're probably going to go out to last summer's prices, you know what the only way is that we actually are in a bear market and they dip back to those prices. But that means you'll miss the entire bull market expansion for altcoins, and you do not want to do that. It's better to be in halfway than don't actually be in at all the entire way. The altcoin run probably won't happen until late this summer or into the winter of this year. If you look at the 2021 graph, 2021 graph, the altcoin bull run generally didn't happen until the end of 2020 or the beginning of 2021. So yeah, you have probably like another 9 months, but that's not for certain. And if it pumps before, you're going to lose out a lot. Like a lot of the coins like VeChain and Cardano did pump a lot in July and August. So even if you didn't buy until July and August, you're buying in at 2 or 3 times the price that you would be in right now. And yes, while you will still make some profits, you'll still make a lot less profits than if you buy in right now. So the thing is like at right now is when everyone should actually be watching Right now is when everyone should be like asking, what do I buy? When do I buy? Right now is when the channel should actually be full of people, not when Bitcoin is at 150,000. Yes, I understand that we can be celebrating and it's going to be exciting at that point. But if you're asking at that point, what should I buy now? The answer is really nothing, because we're already at the top. And if you buy then, you're probably going to get screwed at that point. Right now is probably like one of your last steps to buy. You should have been buying last year at this time. I was telling people that DCA's DCA in ever since like a year and a half ago. And if you DCA'd in starting at that point, you would have actually already made a lot of money by now. But trying to time like the exact point when altcoins are about to blow up, not a good idea. Because like a lot of times it does happen overnight for certain altcoins and they will go up 20, 30, 40%. And then people are gonna be like, oh, they've pumped. Now I'm gonna wait for them to actually go down. But during a really massive bull run, they might pump 300-400% without going down. And by that time, you'll have missed at least half the pump. So the thing is, especially if you're like buying and trading meme coins, trying to like time exactly when they're going to pump is like complete nonsense, because you're not going to be able to do it. But even with regular altcoins, it's incredibly hard, if not impossible to do. So I'm actually very disappointed with crypto people again. They just completely go away, even in a 1 month break when Bitcoin is just trading sideways. Because the 1 month break where Bitcoin is trading sideways and altcoins are slumping against Bitcoin is the ideal time to actually buy altcoins if you haven't filled up your bag yet. And many of you are just many people are just going to be, like kind of setting themselves up for big disappointment later on, because they didn't take this opportunity. They didn't actually take this opportunity to buy the coins that they actually wanted. So that's what I have to say. Yeah, tell your friends to actually pay attention right now, ask the questions right now, and not ask when they're at 150K. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.